they get you on camera.
Hey, Stuart here, going to find out how's the hike to Foster Brook in Fundy National Park. One of those tune-up hikes I was talking about. It's a short one, so let's get started. So that's my car down there, and these are all day hikers. It's only about a 5K trail in. A lovely little spot, typically very secluded, but as I said in my earlier video about trip planning, it's going to be busy in the parks. And if any of you had an adventure with the Parks Canada reservation system on opening day for any of these parks, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm not surprised to see so many folks day hiking at this particular trail, but wow. I say day hiking because there's only one tent pad in here, so just for me. But yeah, wow. Well, let's go see how busy it is. It's funny. Start the season off with a good climb. And another car coming in here as I was leaving. So, not going to get my seclusion in the afternoon, that's for sure. Have to wait till they all leave later in the day. That's what you get when you pick a short trail. But it's been on my list of ones to see out here. Talk about trip planning a little bit for the weekend. The other cool thing I want to say is today is the opening day of Backcountry reservations in Fundy National Park. So from an overnight perspective, I'll be the first person christening this campsite legally this year. And that's kind of fun. Panting already. Welcome back. Very dry. That might change over the weekend. Wow, that is dry. Super dry. Starting my very steep descent into Foster Brook. That'd be a fun climb up, wouldn't it? Talk about that in a bit. Down into Foster Brook, and then you follow, I think it's the Oxbow. The lower Oxbow will be to my left, the upper Oxbow to my right. And then if you want to connect with the Marvin and Chambers Lake Trail, you would do a river ford across that. First, I'm going to go down here and cross Foster Brook. Not sure how well this shows on video, but that is Fundy footpath worthy right there. Campsite 1.3 kilometers. I think that's probably where everybody went. First rock hop of the season across Foster Brook. Pretty. What a pretty section of trail. I know typically we have these epic videos. I think one of them is what, 2 hours long, but just a little short trip like this to tune up and look at the beauty, right? Very rewarding and much needed. Look at that. hiking. Love being out here in the woods. Getting very close now to camp. Just a few hundred meters probably. As I said, not a long walk, but I hadn't seen this campsite before. And as I mentioned earlier, typically one tent pad and privacy. Although, a lot of cars in the parking lot. See what's going on. Camp. Now, let me show you this sign. Oh, apparently it was 3 kilometers. Well, let's see. 4.3 kilometers to Point Wolf, and that is fording this river. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, how that would work, and I'll explain to you why I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Let's get down here and explore camp. Always fun when you walk into a new camp, isn't it? Interesting activity here. Oh, I wonder what they're doing there now. Huh, interesting. Oh, pretty. Oh yes. You would be reminded. Yes, I'm still walking. Reminds me of Banff. How far things are away from each other. Home sweet home. Holy fire pit. What happened? All right, I'm gonna find a place to pop this tent and show you around a little more. rocks. As promised, quick look at camp. We've got the repository of Parks Canada fire pits here. I don't know what's that's. I mean, that's just weird. I don't ever think there were 3 tent pads here. Maybe there were. I'm not sure how they got here. It's the funniest thing. A food prep area, close to it, of course. But you know, I'll use my Ursack to store my food, because oddly enough, when they hand out the bear pamphlet, they don't tell you at Fundy National Park that there are no bear poles. Now, I knew this because I've hiked every other, all but one other campsite in this park, but it is weird. There's no bear stories that I can ever find at any of these campsites. If I'm wrong, just, you know, forgive me and post in the comment section below where I would have found them. But like I said, I haven't found them at any campsite here that I've been in, so it's kind of odd. I mean, there are bears, black bears, but I worry more about mini bears, as they're called online now, because a lot of these places, you know, animals get habituated by folks who leave food around. I remember last year at Sealy Beach, in that video, one night I heard something trying to take my toilet kit in a Ziploc. It recognized the Ziploc as a source of food. Very strange. Like really, really, like just kind of baffling strange. So anyway, that's camp. I'm going to go in the tent and get away from the black flies. This is, well, this is May in New Brunswick, and I don't even know if they pick up on video, but they are swarming here right now. And they're dumb little things. They land on your face and they try to go straight to your eye. I mean, that's instant death. So I don't know what Darwin was thinking, but anyway. All right, I'm heading in there. I'll have a little rest, and then, as promised, I'll talk a little bit about trip planning in a bit. I know earlier in the video I said I'll talk to you about trip planning. It's a 3K hike. What's the plan? But I did want to share with you what you would typically do if you were going to Marvin Lake, like I have a reservation for tomorrow night. You would typically go up the 4K, or not the 4K, up a little bit, and then cross the river, up the hill, and intersect the Marvin and Chambers Lake Trail. That's exactly what you would do. I couldn't do that on this trip, even though I have Marvin Lake booked for tomorrow night, because I have a very dear friend, a newbie to hiking, who's going to join me and go up to Marvin Lake. And that means I have to go back to my car, 3K, get in it, drive down to Point Wolf so we can start the trail proper down there. The issue is, this is a new person who's never hiked, physically far fitter than I'll ever be. That's not the issue. The issue is probably going to rain. So rain's going to start probably about 10 o'clock tonight here in this campsite, and then it's probably going to rain for the rest of Labor Day weekend. Now, the forecast's been up and down about how much rain. It's going to be 30 to 40K winds and rain and showers and cold temperatures, and I have no problem with that. As you know, you've seen me do things in those conditions, but not for a new person. You know, sitting in your tent all day, walking in the rain, getting wet, and then sitting in the tent all day is no fun for somebody, for a new experience. So I might just table that. This might just be a one-nighter, but staying flexible because the forecast can change. And even though it's a one-nighter, you don't know what you're going to see. You could see all kinds of interesting things. I mean, I'm seeing thousands of black flies, which is why I'm wearing this crazy hat. But a hummingbird, a few minutes ago, came down and tried to get some nectar out of my little red fuel bottle. Unsuccessfully, obviously. But wow, what a beautiful little bird. Just come right into camp looking for some nectar. And then I saw another, out here on the water, I saw another bird doing this really cool flight. I've never seen this, whatever that bird was before. And I think it was probably eating the skimmers that are out there on the water, these little bugs that skim on the top of the water. So even on a one-nighter, you can find beauty, you know, peace and quiet and tranquility. So even if it ends up being one night, I'm good with that, because got some big plans in June, hopefully, here in Blackflyville. Did get you on camera. Hello there, little fella. Just heard this large noise over here. It sounded like a large bird of some sort, if I were guessing. It's amazing what you see when you're quiet in your tent and there aren't crowds around, like that hummingbird, eh? I never thought that would come back, or if that was a different one, or what. See, you never know what you're going to see, even on a short little trip. Well, alright, I don't see anything down here that would have made a racket like that. Sounded like a large bird. What a night. Almost time for supper. Ooh. Old favorite. Come on, Stu, you haven't forgotten how to open a freeze-dried meal, brother. It will be good soon. Didn't want you to miss anything important. I wonder how many flies are gonna get into this tonight. More protein. Now we wait. Full bug attire now. Let's try this. Haven't had this for a while. One of my faves, chicken fried rice. That's good. Gonna try to eat it without ingesting too many of these bugs. Almost as bad as the southbound trail, Ev. Woo! Well, that's kind of it. Kind of a wrap. Had a nice supper and went around, looked around a little bit more to see if I could see any more animals. And lots of ducks flying up and down here, so it's very interesting. I don't know if they're feeding up here or whether how they nest. I have to look up ducks when I get home. Oh boy! But what's going to happen overnight? So forecast is all over the place. Not sure what to expect. So, you know, if it's a typical night in the woods for me, it's going to rain. So I kind of expect that. So I'm going to I'll play some solitaire on my phone, and I'll see you in the morning. Morning. Told you it was going to rain. Oh, what a night. Well, not bad, really. It's just steady, light rain. Excuse me. A little bit of thunder, but nothing serious. Just before the rain came, the moon was out. It was really pretty. And the cool thing about these DCF tents is you can kind of see through them. It has its good and bad points. When you're alone like this, is great because you can see what's going on. Kind of see the moon. It's blurry. It's not like it's glass, but you can kind of make out things. So yeah, then the rain came. And it's been steady all night. And it's funny, when you're in the woods, you ponder stuff. The amount of energy that squirrels use to chase other squirrels away from their little area is baffling to me. Like, that's all they do is chase each other around. How many nuts do you have to eat to make up that much energy? Insane. Really, this is what you think about in the woods. Now, I'm gonna lay here a little longer and ponder what's next, and whether or not I'm even gonna bother having coffee this morning. Mornings like this, you just pack everything up in your tent dry, get completely dressed, pack your backpack, everything except the tent, and then spring out into the rain. So I'm gonna lounge here for a bit first. Hummingbird was just there. He stuck his beak through those holes in my shoes, thinking they were a flower or something. I'm just sitting here getting dressed and then getting back in my sleeping bag and warming up. And I was going to try to catch him on video, but pretty cool. Pretty quick pack up. Used to packing up in the rain. I mean, like I've said before, even just a few minutes ago in this video. You're on a big long trip, you have no choice, you just have to live with it. When you're an hour and a half from your house, you don't. Nor do I want to take a newbie out. Weather is looking like it's actually going to get worse later today and into tomorrow. So just not. You're just somebody new to sleeping in the woods. You want them to love the experience, and rain and cold temperatures. Stuck in your tent's really not the way to go, so we'll table it for another time. Look up, look way up, and I'll call Rusty. Actually, call me Rusty. Ooh, man. It's raining again. My dryness is at an end. Oh, all part of the fun. Making up songs, I mean. Last few steps back to the car. Even though it was only 3K, that climb was a pretty good workout, which I need at this point in the season. Really, truthfully. Not quite the weekend I'd planned, but again, hiking with somebody new, I want to make sure they get at least a decent experience. And starting off, well, the rain's only going to get worse, which is why I kind of bailed out early this morning. We'll save it for another weekend. Something to look forward to. No, I'm going to look forward to a shower. Good to be back on the trail. Good to see you again. And only the beginning of what should be a pretty fantastic summer. And I'm really looking forward to it. So thanks for coming along. Any questions? Put them in the comments section below. And the last thing I'll say is, even on a short little hike like this, you never know what you're going to see. Pretty cool, that hummingbird. And just a lot of peace and tranquility. The great part about Fundy National Park is that each campsite is one tent pad and you're there alone. And it's awesome. So thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.